happy Tuesday morning, April 14, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of Good Morning, New Hampshire. Good to be back on air after a couple days off. We have lots of stuff we have today in Good Morning, New Hampshire, so sit back, relax, grab your cup of coffee, and enjoy some Good Morning, New Hampshire. We're going to begin first with your local news. It's April 14, 2020. Welcome to Good Morning, New Hampshire. Here's your local news now. New Hampshire health officials announced 35 new positive COVID-19 test results, over 1,000 cases total. New demographic data provided. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Numbers released from the Department of Health and Human Services show how these cases are divided. First, between males and females. Right now, women make up the majority of cases. There are 549 confirmed female patients in the state, or 54%, and 471 male patients, or 46%. And now we're seeing how the cases break down in age groups. The smallest group is children up to 9 years old. There are 5 cases in this age group in the state, about 1%. Ages 10 through 19 have 17 cases, or 2%. Then the numbers get bigger. Patients 20 to 29 years old have 143 cases, or 14%. 30 to 39, 153 cases, or 15%, and 40 to 49, 160 cases, or 16%. The age bracket with the most patients, 50 to 59 years old, 220 patients, or 22%. Then a drop-off. 60 to 69-year-olds make up 160 cases, 16%. 70 to 79-year-olds have 83 cases at 8%. And there are 78 patients over the age of 80, or 8%. About 1/3 traced to community transmission, nearly 1/5 associated with a cluster in a facility or workplace. And still, one of the most concerning statistics, 311 cases, or 30% of all cases in the state, are among healthcare workers. Jean Mackin, WMUR, News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your COVID-19 information in New Hampshire, what you need to know. And here's a look at that COVID-19 in New Hampshire. There are 1,020 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 5,086,377 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 23 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 152 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 23,610 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map of New Hampshire shows where the cases are in the towns and cities of New Hampshire. Nashua has 89 cases of COVID-19. This graph is new cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations, and in the red are the deaths. Your common symptoms: fever, cough, and difficult breathing. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into national news. In your national news, coronavirus updates. U.S. Navy battles growing outbreak on hospital ship. A global pandemic of the novel coronavirus has now claimed the lives of more than 120,000 people around the world. Over 1.9 million people worldwide have been diagnosed with COVID-19, the disease caused by the new respiratory virus, according to data compiled by the Center for Systems Science and Engineering at Johns Hopkins University. The actual numbers are believed to be much higher due to testing shortages, many unreported cases, and suspicious that some governments are hiding the scope of their nation's outbreak. Since the first case was detected in China back in December, the United States has become the worst affected nation, with more than 582,000 diagnosed cases and at least 23,649 deaths. The number of cases in New York State alone is higher than any single country. Today's biggest developments. Global death toll tops 120,000. U.S. death toll at 23,649. 7 crew members on USNS Mercy test positive for the virus. And Austria and Italy reopen some shops as lockdown slowly eases. Trump retweets attack on Fauci with hashtag Fire Fauci. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Tonight, amid all of this, the president said just a short time ago that he was thinking about the families in the tornado zone, but he then went on to defend his decision-making in this pandemic, his administration's reaction to the virus. And Dr. Anthony Fauci at the podium moments ago as well, explaining an answer to a question that he gave yesterday, saying that earlier mitigation would have saved lives, addressing that answer again a short time ago with the president standing right beside him. Here's ABC's Terry Moran.
It was an ominous sign. President Trump retweeting last night an attack on Dr. Anthony Fauci. The original tweet including the hashtag time to fire Fauci. This on the same day Fauci declared in an interview on CNN that the administration's reluctance to call for shutdowns and strong social distancing measures sooner has cost more American lives in the pandemic.
Obviously, you could logically say that if you had a process that was ongoing and you started mitigation earlier, you could have saved lives. Obviously, no one is going to deny that, but there was a lot of pushback about shutting things down back then.
And here's what Fauci said just moments ago.
I was asked a hypothetical question, and hypothetical questions sometimes can get you into some difficulty. The nature of the hypothetical question was, if in fact we had mitigated earlier, could lives have been saved? And the answer to my question was, as I always do, and I'm doing right now, perfectly honestly, say, yes. I mean, obviously.
But Fauci went on to say that when he and Dr. Deborah Birx went to the president with their recommendations, Trump listened.
The first and only time that Dr. Birx and I went in and formally made a recommendation to the president listened to the recommendation and went to the mitigation. The next second time that I went with Dr. Birx into the president and said, 15 days are not enough. We need to go 30 days.
Dr. Fauci, just a short time ago, Terry Moran with us tonight. We know the president then speaking right after Dr. Fauci, essentially defending his decision-making amid reporting from the New York Times and other outlets of early warning signs potentially missed, internal emails, notes that ended up in the presidential daily brief, warning of what this virus could turn into. And Terry, he even had a video produced showing what he says he has done during this pandemic.
He sure did, David. It was a remarkable moment showing how these briefings have been transformed into almost mini Trump rallies, a slickly produced campaign-style video trying to counter the argument, and the assessment, now shared by a majority of Americans, polls showed that the president was late, that he operated slowly, that a lot of his happy talk and downplaying of the virus cost lives. That is essentially what Dr. Fauci had claimed on CNN. But as for Fauci, the president made clear, he said, I'm not going to fire him. He's a wonderful guy. He did add, however, that everything he'd done is right. David?
Terry Moran with us tonight. Terry, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into business news. In your business news, Dow features jump more than 300 points as virus outlook improves. Stock features rose in early morning trading Tuesday as investors grow more optimistic about the coronavirus outlook, while bracing for the state of the corporate earnings season. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into weather and traffic. We're going to start with the weather first. Your weather right now is sunny, 43 degrees. And your weather for today, partly cloudy, high 54 degrees, winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And now let's take a look at the traffic. And here is a look at your morning traffic map this morning for all of you. And here's a look at that morning traffic map for all of you this morning. And not too bad of a ride on those roadways, as you can see. Good news there. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into New Hampshire Life. In your New Hampshire Life segment, local restaurants, food services, add groceries to takeout menus. Change comes in COVID-19 pandemic. Let's take a listen to that video.
If your shirt isn't tucked into your pants, are your pants tucked into your shirt?
Like other restaurants staying open in this pandemic, Panera Bread has switched to takeout, pickup, and delivery. And since Friday, Panera Grocery has been added to the online options. A corporate spokesperson says customers everywhere are struggling to find essential items and are generally looking to limit the amount of stops they make.
If, you're looking for like that one avocado or a tomato for dinner, we're also offering our fresh baked breads. We're selling gallons of milk, bagels.
The Roundabout Diner in Portsmouth adding the Roundabout Pantry to the online menu, necessities allowing loyal customers another way to support local business. It's not just some restaurants trying a little grocery business. We've heard about some bakeries, even some wholesale food suppliers.
They pull into our facility in Somersworth and just provide an order number and name, and we load it in their trunk and off they go.
Favorite Foods primarily supplies independent restaurants in northern New England. 3 weeks ago, opening up to the public, too.
Initially with items that were difficult to get to to get a hold of at the grocery stores, and it has since morphed into a list of 150 items that we're offering to the public on a daily basis.
From cleaning to assorted baking needs and condiments to freshly cut meats, another win-win.
It's probably kept 5 additional people on, so that's a great thing. Trying to help out internally as well as externally.
A business model that might not end when the pandemic finally does. In Portsmouth, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's learn how to make whipped coffee at home. You can do this right at home. Let's take a look at that video.
right now, and it's a whipped coffee. It's from South Korea, and it is delicious. So you've got to use instant coffee, that chemical reaction that happens. You cannot use real coffee to do this. You have to have the instant. And then granulated sugar, boiling water, and then if you wanted to add a pinch of cinnamon or something, you could. So I'm going to do double batch here. I'm going to do 4 tablespoons of instant coffee, 4 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and then I'm going to do 4 tablespoons of boiling water. We start whisking. So it takes a minute. It takes a little while to get all this whisking happening. And to get it really, get some peaks on it. If you want those peaks, just like whipped cream. If you see whipped cream, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Get those nice high peaks on it. Stiff peaks. Look at that. It looks like it's just this gorgeous caramel chocolate or something. It's like really good. A really thick, nice look to it. And that is a great coffee.
Okay, there you go. That's how you make whipped coffee. That looks cool. I'll need to try that. And we're gonna switch gears again. Let's go into some entertainment news. In your entertainment news, GMA pays tribute to longtime producer after her death. Let's take a listen to that video from Entertainment Tonight.
Her fellow colleagues, they really loved her. That's what we should remember about Thea. Boy, she had a big heart. Whew.
The Good Morning America team is remembering their longtime producer, Thea Trachtenberg, who died on Easter Sunday morning at age 51.
She's a gifted scripter, a producing machine, and while producing those pieces, oh, the things she has seen. And you showed that in that piece, George. Just that interview was with Mrs. Obama. That was the first interview with her as First Lady. And I said, I want Thea by my side.
Robin Roberts, Michael Strahan, and George Stephanopoulos spoke candidly about their time with Thea. Stephanopoulos recalled her work on interviews with presidents, prime ministers, and actors before revealing the interview she loved most.
Such an amazing human being, such an amazing producer. I worked with Thea on all of my big shoots, and you know, she did love that Bono one most of all. She would come up to me just about every week and say, "When are we going to do Bono again? When are we going to do Bono again?" But not only was she so much fun to work with, but she is just an incredibly competent, intelligent, and fearless producer.
She was a mentor to so many on our staff.
Thea reportedly battled serious heart and lung conditions for some time. She did not have COVID-19. George Stephanopoulos, however, revealed he has tested positive for COVID-19.
I also learned over the weekend that my test came back positive for COVID as well, which is really no surprise given the fact that I've been here for a couple of weeks. But I'm one of those, I guess, cases that are basically asymptomatic. I've never had a fever, never had chills, never had a headache, never had cough, never had shortness of breath. I'm feeling great.
The diagnosis comes after taking care of his wife, Allie Wentworth, who previously tested positive.
She's going on her 5th day now. With no fever, which is really a great sign. Slowly getting out of bed a little bit more each day. So we're really happy about that.
Just last week, GMA mourned the loss of cameraman Tony Greer, who died due to complications from the coronavirus.
We loved every single moment we were blessed to spend and share with Tony. Our condolences to his family in Chicago, his mother Fanny. We've got to say this to you, ma'am. Your son was a good man. He was kind, he was thoughtful, he was always a gentleman. And George, you know, as a parent, you can't ask for much more than that.
Okay, and there you go on that video from Entertainment Tonight. And now let's take a look at your celebrity birthdays. And here's a look at the celebrity birthdays for all of you. And happy birthday to all of these celebrities. We hope they have a wonderful birthday and a wonderful day. And thank you for watching this Tuesday edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. I'll see you back here next time for another edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Goodbye, everyone.